Welcome to MrCross.org's edition of some Microsoft Word tutorials. This first tutorial today is a brief introduction to Microsoft Word. We're basically just going to kind of look around, check out what these menus do, and kind of talk about that a little bit. First thing I want you to notice is that there's these icons along the top. Now those icons perform functions that you will find in your menu bar. This being your menu bar, these icons are kind of like quick shortcuts to any of these icons that you can find in here. Now sometimes you'll see things in a menu bar that you might not get under these icons, and that's because it's hidden. And if you go to View Toolbars, you can see a whole list of toolbars that are actually missing. To open up a toolbar, all you have to do is click on it, and when you do, you'll see that a new toolbar has been added. Now these toolbars can be placed all over your screen, so we saw that this one opened up down here at the bottom. You can actually drag these toolbars right out. You can have them floating. You can drag them and put them next to the side of your screen. You can drag them and put them over on the other side of your screen. Lots you can do with these toolbars, and you might want to customize your workstation to the way you like to work. So if there's particular tools you use in every day in your editing, those are the ones you're going to want to have handy, and you're going to do that by going to View Toolbars. Alright, so now I'm just going to briefly take you through each individual menu bar and just kind of talk about it a little bit. The first menu bar tab is File, and underneath it you're going to have things like New, Open, Close, Save. Those should be pretty familiar with. If you've used any other kind of Word document, you should be pretty familiar with what those are about. We also have our Print, our previewing for previewing a web page, setting up our page and how it's going to print, things like that. We're going to discuss these in later tutorials in more depth, but this is where you're going to go to do that. Under Edit, this is where you're going to do the cutting and pasting, finding, replacing, different handy tasks that might be involved in the editing of your document. We already talked about one thing under View, which was your viewing toolbars. You can also view the page as a different thing. You can view the outline view of the website, or of the Word document, rather. You can view a print layout, the web layout, lots of different things you can view under View, but it has to do with how you're viewing your document, how you're seeing your document right now. Under Insert, this is where we can put in page breaks, date and time, special things. We can put pictures, we can insert files, links to things. We can do a lot of things in Insert, but it's just like the name sounds. It's whatever we want to insert into our document. Formatting has to do with, just as it sounds, the formatting of the document. This is where you're going to have your font, your paragraphs, your columns. This is where you're going to change the theme, add a different background. You're going to change all kinds of different formatting things about your document. Tools. This is going to be like spelling and grammar. This is going to be you're doing your letters and envelopes that we'll do in a later lesson. If your computer has speech recognition, this will be where you can turn that on. So tools, it's got a good wide range of just additional things that you can activate in Word to make your word processing experience a little better. Under Table, tables are things in Microsoft Word that are similar to Excel. In fact, it's a very dumbed-down Excel spreadsheet. And you can actually add these tables in. It's a great way to organize information maybe that you want to be in columns or you want to line up straight. So this is where we'll be inserting some tables. Again, later lessons, but we'll be working with tables quite a bit. Window, this is kind of a Microsoft thing as a whole. This is where you're going to be able to open multiple windows, this being all one window. You'll be able to open up multiple windows. You can cascade them. You can do things. So if you had, say, 10 Microsoft Office documents open, you could cascade those. You can kind of arrange them. That's in the window. We probably won't use the window a whole lot in here, but that's just one of the options that you have. Help. This is just if you can't figure something out, you can hit Help. And Help does help a lot of the times. Sometimes it's hard to find help, and sometimes just going to Google and typing something in might be a little bit faster for you. But anyway, those are the basic layouts. I just wanted to kind of go over some of those. You'll notice that like under File here, you have the little paper and you have the little open emblem. And if you notice right here, you also have the paper and the open emblem. That's because it's just the same thing. You're just hitting it quicker. So really, these toolbars are just made to get into these file options faster. And that's all I have for this first little part. And it's just, like I said, a brief introduction to Microsoft Word. In the future lessons, we're going to get into actually editing documents and doing a lot more with them, but it's important to know where everything is.